Right now, let's bring in from Seattle the great Kevin Pelton.
What's up, Beckley?
Kevin, how you doing, man?
I'm good. And just last night, I was hearing tales of your prowess as a high school player. So anywhere you go in Seattle, you can't help but
Oh,
hear.
It's like the blogging version of
where
John
was
Brockman.
that?
There was an event with the Arena Solution Group about this arena proposal on the table, and so ran into a friend of mine who saw you play.
Oh, do you mind if I ask who that was? Or is this getting weird?
Nate Tepp, I don't know if you,
Oh yeah. I know Nate, of course.
yeah.
So Nate, anyway, Nate's a guy we used to play at high school. He went to Seattle
Oh,
Academy. I went to Overlake.
story,
Good
bro.
rivalry, good fierce rivalry. Terrible teams, both of us. All right, Kevin, let's break down exactly what in God's green earth is going on in Portland. Is this the greatest tanking that's the world has ever seen?
Possibly. It's just one of the most unexpected seasons because the Blazers came into it with such high hopes, and for the first few weeks, it looked like they were completely living up to them. I mean, I was down there in Portland for the Oklahoma City game. I think that was February 6th, maybe early in February, and they were a goaltend call away from beating the Thunder for the second time this season, being in second or third place in the conference, and it's just all gone downhill so quickly that I think it's tough for almost anyone to comprehend.
Yeah, and they just to recap what they've done today. They've moved. Um,
They've
they've
just
moved
had two middle
Camby
fingers
and
pointing
Wallace,
right at the
two
fan base.
rotational players who are pretty darn good. For Camby's not good anymore. For Okur, Sean Williams, Johnny Flynn, and Hashim Thabit. Basically, four players who either weren't on the court for a good team or got sparse minutes for a terrible team. It is really, really incredible. And they tried to move Felton and Matthews. So they're basically trying to unload everybody but Aldridge and then hopefully get some good draft picks and build up around him. What the hell?
Well, that's funny because they basically undid their last two trade deadlines when they got Camby 2 years ago and Wallace last year. And, they clearly would have moved Crawford or Felton if the right deal had come along. And in Felton's case in particular, I don't think you can expect him to be much longer, whether it's a buyout, whether it's just straight waiving him. They've got to get him out of that locker room.
Whether he's found dead in the showers with Nate McMillan's fingerprints all over him. You don't have
so
to
you heard
confirm
it
nor
here
deny that that is a possibility.
But what they're looking to do is, as you mentioned, it's Aldridge and then Nicola Batum, who will be a restricted free agent this summer and will command a major salary upgrade from what he's getting now. But those are going to be the two guys that they build around and get a bunch of young picks. And they potentially got a lottery pick from the Nets. Well, almost certainly got a lottery pick, let's be honest. Possibly, top 7 or 8 pick from the Nets in this Gerald Wallace deal. And they'll go from there and have a bunch of cap space this summer as well. I don't know, whether they'll use it to bring in guys or sort of more the Oklahoma City method where you're renting out that cap space to other teams for picks so that you continue staying young. But it's going to be a couple years before the Blazers are really contending for the playoffs again, it looks like.
Well, and what is Batum worth to you? Where do you stand on him?
I think somewhere in the range of 10 to 12 million when you look at comparable players who have hit free agency. The strides he's made this season, his age, the fact that he's still only scratching the surface of his potential. I could see him as a guy who made the All-Star team 1 or 2 times down the road. So given all that, I think you're talking somewhere 4 years, 40 million to 4 years, 50 million, somewhere in that range.